The schoolteacher mother of influencer Noah Beck is on paid leave from her job. This comes days after a racy video resurfaced online of her and her son. And it's not the only potential legal trouble a Beck family member faces. I'll explain. I'm Anjanette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. Noah Beck gets a lot of attention online. He has 33 million TikTok followers, and he's starring in a reboot of Baywatch. But now, Beck's mom and sister are in the spotlight for all of the wrong reasons. I'll start with his mom, Amy Beck. She's now on paid administrative leave from her job at Coyote Hills Elementary School, where she's been a teacher since 2019. The school is in Peoria, Arizona. In 2019, Coyote Hills posted about Amy Beck on its Facebook page. She's been a teacher for a really long time. She talked about her years of experience. At that time, 16 of them had been with the Peoria Unified School District. Earlier this month, a video from 2020 started circulating online that showed Amy Beck simulating a sex act on her son, Noah. That video would have been recorded and posted to Noah's TikTok while Amy Beck was working for the school district. Now, the district has announced that Amy is on paid administrative leave. The district shared a statement with parents that read, "Dear Mrs. Beck's families, this letter is to inform you that out of an abundance of caution, your child's teacher, Mrs. Beck, is currently on paid administrative leave. The district has started an investigation, and we will provide you with an update as soon as possible. In the meantime, we will have a substitute teacher who will provide the same high-quality education you have come to know and expect from Coyote Hills Elementary School. While I cannot share additional details on a personnel matter, please know this matter does not impact the safety of our students. We appreciate you, as parents, working with us to make this transition as comfortable as possible for your child." Now, district officials will not say whether the video is the reason why Amy Beck was placed on paid administrative leave, but the timing certainly makes you think. And I want to be clear, Amy Beck is not under criminal investigation by the Peoria Police Department. A police spokesperson told me they have not been contacted about Amy Beck. However, another Beck family member is under investigation and has been. Hailey Beck, Noah's sister. Hailey Beck was a teacher at Centennial High School until a vote was held to fire her. And the Maricopa County Attorney's Office is reviewing a case against Hailey Beck after a police investigation. A 200-page Peoria police report claims that Hailey Beck paid a student to compliment her outfits and that she had at least one sexual encounter with him. An officer wrote of an interview with Hailey, "I told Hailey it had been brought up during the investigation there was a video of Hailey performing oral sex on the student, and I asked if that was true. Hailey adamantly denied and said absolutely not. That is one thing I would 1,000% deny. She said it is insane that would be alleged. I then asked Hailey if there ever was a sexual relationship with the student before and after he turned 18. She said no. Hailey was adamant the student has never come to her apartment and she has never had a relationship outside of a student-teacher relationship." Now, the detectives served search warrants in relation to the investigation and wrote about some of the messages they claim to have recovered. An officer wrote in the report, "In this series of messages, Hailey is going to a concert and tells the student she will give him $5 per compliment for a photo of her outfit she is wearing. Hailey sends the photo of herself to the student and he provides his feedback. Hailey sends $25 via Apple Pay to the student. She then suggests a sleepover in Anthem, where the student is going to be in a football camp. Hailey also sends a photo of alcoholic beverages." In the end, the officers wrote in this report that the evidence led them to believe that Hailey Beck had a sugar mama, sugar baby relationship with the student and that the conversation about sexual contact between the two happened after the student turned 18. The officers claimed Beck sent $630 over a 1.5-month time period to the student. In one instance, the officers said that Beck wrote to the 18-year-old boy with a payment. "This money exchange just felt like straight prostitution." The Maricopa County Attorney is now reviewing the case for a possible criminal charge of pandering. This is after prosecutors sent the case back to police for further investigation. Beck's attorney, Matthew Long, issued a statement to 12 News that said, in part, Ms. Beck respects the criminal justice process and looks forward to the conclusion of the investigation, which will reveal she committed no crimes. Like any individual subject to investigation, Ms. Beck is entitled to due process. We are confident that a complete review of the facts will confirm her innocence. Now, I've reached out to Matthew Long. At the time of this recording, I haven't heard back from him. Okay, so to break this whole thing down, I want to bring in Dwane Cates. He is a noted criminal defense attorney, basically an expert in criminal law in Arizona, also a legal analyst. Dwane, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me on. I always like coming on.
Yeah, I love being on with you. So, Dwane, let's talk about Hailey, the sister in this case. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office, they just got back to me. They're still in the review stage of this for the pandering charge referral from the Peoria Police Department. Basically, the cops are saying that she was paying this student. He was 18 when they think she had sex with him, but she's sending him cash payments and kind of grooming him. That's what they're kind of claiming here, so that she could later have a sexual relationship with him. What do you think about all this?
Well, it's pretty strange to begin with that a teacher's doing that. But again, you have to understand a lot of times teachers aren't that much older than their students when you get into high school, when you get 18-year-old students. And she may have thought it was okay to do that, but still, she should have known. And number two, you should just never have 4,000 text messages with a student you're trying to have sex. Aren't you smart enough to understand that that there's a paper trail on this thing?
Apparently, maybe not. I mean, it's all there in the police report. I mean, and she apparently is asking him to like compliment her. In one message, she is accused, according to the police department, she's accused of saying this is like straight prostitution as she's sending him a payment. It doesn't sound good for her. And, teachers, I've said this a million times, teachers should not be communicating. I don't care if she is 27. I don't care if this kid is 17 going on 18. He's about to be an adult. Should not be communicating by text message outside of school with students.
I mean, that's a recipe for disaster. And it's coming through in this case. The fact that she's flat out saying that this was prostitution. I mean, I don't know what the county attorney's office is reviewing. I guess maybe they're reviewing it for felony charges, because it's clearly the misdemeanor, soliciting prostitution charge would be there. Now, if he was under 18, now you get into what are called the child prostitution statutes in Arizona. And that's a lot of prison time. So if they can prove that she was offering to pay him for sex when he was under the age of 18, she could be in a lot of trouble.
And that's kind of what I think the police are going for here. But whether or not the county attorney is going to see it that way, I think, that remains to be seen. It doesn't sound like to me, and maybe I'm wrong here, but the county attorney has already sent this back to the police department once for further investigation. That doesn't sound good to me. Does that happen often in criminal investigations out there?
Not horribly unusual. I mean, usually a lot of times when there's an arrest made, things are happening fast, and then it lands on the prosecutor's desk. The prosecutor reads it and says, you know what, I'd like to charge this, but I need you to go back and interview X, Y, and Z and see what they have to say about it, or get more information from them. And so, that may be it. It may also be, it could be a digital forensics issue where they've got to download the phone or computers, to try to track these messages down. So, and again, it's not enough just to have a text message from somebody. You got to prove it was their fingers on the phone sending the text message. Okay. So there's a couple layers that you got, I've got a case like that right now where, there's a conversation had, but they can't prove it was my client having the conversation. So even if it was his phone.
Right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what comes of this case because now the county attorney is looking at it. And I want to see what they're going to say because right now in this email they sent me, they're saying it's still under review. Let's turn to mom now, Amy Beck. There's a firestorm now surrounding the fact that we've got a second grade teacher back in 2020. Apparently, we've seen this video. I'm not going to post it here because it's inappropriate. She's a mom. She's a second grade teacher. And she is simulating oral sex. She's not performing the act, but she is simulating it on her influencer son. Apparently, this video resurfaced recently. We've seen it. And I'm getting the feeling a parent saw this online and went to the school district and raised some hell about this and said, what is going on? This is gross. So what do you make of this? Because the police department, I contacted them and they're like, we haven't received any calls about Amy Beck.
And again, it's probably not a crime to simulate oral sex on your son. Okay. If even assuming he's over 18, which he was, so that's not a crime. However, it's really poor taste and it's really shows really, really bad judgment. And again, teachers, you're putting the trust in these people with your children. And do you really want somebody, teaching your child that has behaviors like that, especially second graders?
And I think that, the school district is not coming out straight up and saying, look, it's because we got a complaint or complaints about this video. They're not saying it, but the timing is interesting because this thing has popped up on social media in the last 25 days or so. And then this email goes out to parents saying, we're doing an investigation about Mrs. Beck, but don't worry, your children are not in danger. I've confirmed the police have not been called. The county attorney has not received any information about Amy Beck. So it doesn't appear that there's any crime being alleged, but she was a teacher with this district. She's been a teacher for years there when this video would have been recorded. So is there any way that you can see that she might lose her job over this video because she is entrusted to take care of children and be a good example? And, the video is just, it's the ick factor on it's high.
All the teachers sign contracts when they go to work at a school, and there's a code of conduct on there that they sign. Now, I don't know Peoria's particular code of conduct, but I'm sure that it prohibits you from publicly doing lewd acts. Okay. I mean, I just couldn't see where, that wouldn't fit in a definition that they'd have in their teacher contract for a violation of conduct, code of conduct. And so I believe they will probably have a good shot at firing her in this case.
Really?
Yeah.
Over this TikTok video it's like probably 20 seconds long or so, somewhere in there. But it does raise questions about judgment, and it's just inappropriate.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And again, if you send it to your Uncle Bill as a joke, great. But if it's posted on social media where it's going to get wide dissemination, that's not a thing you want to have happen.
If you're Noah Beck, this is a guy, he's an influencer. He's got 33 million followers on TikTok, millions on other platforms on social media. He's going to be in this Baywatch show. This seems really bad. It's just like bad PR surrounding this guy. I know you're a criminal defense attorney, Dwane, but you're also in the media. What is this going to mean for him?
Well, I'm also a crisis communicator, so my undergraduate degree is in communication. So yeah, he probably needs to get out in front of this. Now, I don't know who posted it. Did his mom post this on his stuff, or did she send it to him and he posted it on his social media account, his influencer account? If he's the one that posted it and he's the one that's disseminating it, then he deserves everything he gets from it. All the bad pub should go to him. He needs to get out. He needs to get out in front of it and put out a statement about how it was a stupid joke and it wasn't meant to be offensive and blah blah blah. He needs to put some lipstick on a pig.
Well, I'm not sure how much lipstick you can put on this pig because the video is now, even though it had been apparently taken down from his TikTok,
Yeah.
it's out there now. And now
Yeah.
there are news stories about it 6 years later.
Yeah,
And it's not going away.
that's the problem with being famous. You want all that attention, you want all those followers. Well, this is what comes with it. When you make mistakes, they become public.
Well, they sure do. And this is all public. And I don't think even, the stuff about the sister, too, if she is indeed charged with this, we're kind of like speaking hypothetically now. I mean, she's under criminal investigation and she's lost her job over this stuff with this student, over paying this student for compliments and what the police are saying was sex. So that is also not good. I mean, it's a mess that's kind of next to him, and that's not good for him.
Yeah. My mom always said, when you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. So now this is going to kind of spread to all the, it's all coming out of the same school district, and it really gives the school district a black eye.
Yeah, and there's another teacher involved in the investigation with Hailey Beck too. We haven't really touched on her that much, but there's another teacher involved in this too. So it's crazy. Well, Dwane Cates, I thank you for your time and your expertise as always. Thanks for being with me.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Now, again, I want to restate that Amy Beck is not under criminal investigation. At the time of this recording, the Maricopa County Attorney is still reviewing the case presented to the office against Hailey Beck. Hailey has not been charged. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.